want to see both feet cross. All we're working on our lateral moves here. This is what we'll do. And then he's going to burst for the last 5. We're looking to work laterally, warm it up laterally. I see them carry the ball low. If they start carrying the ball low, I'll stand at the end. And I'll just start swinging at the ball as they come through. He's carrying it low. Alright, and then at the time push him if he drops it. What we want to see when we're going through these, just go once, stay there, just go once. What we want to see, turn around, is we want to see him splitting the point of the ball, curling it so it's on his palm, forearm, bicep. And we're going to teach him to carry it high. What we don't want is down low where it can get punched or ripped. And push-ups. So we're going to start with that, then we're going to go high knee every box. For us, just chop, try to get as many down in 5. Then we're going to burst through the last 5. Helmet's on the safety.
Coach, you said you're doing this with a ladder?
With a ladder, yeah. You spray paint 1, 2, it's probably just as easy. We're not allowed to spray paint out there.
Why not?
After we go every one, we do striders, which will be every other one, alternating sides. Trying to lengthen our stride here a little bit. We try to see, and the team did a poor job of it, is a change in speed once they get past the ladders. Okay, we want to see like a burst there. After we go alternating, we're going to do bunny hops, alternating sides. We want to see big hops. Usually they do a pretty good job of keeping it tight. After we go through there, they're going to start on the other side of the line and just do our shuffle in, shuffle out. And really all we're trying to do is warm up their legs. Sedaris tries to juke me whenever he finishes.
You do this with running backs and receivers?
These are our A's, our J's, and our Y's. So it's our wings and our backs. So after we finish that, we got our feet warmed up. We're going to go into our routes. We're going to 25. And basically, we're just simulating the routes that they're going to run. Okay, so we have Sedaris. He's going to run our. That's all right. That's all right. We'll fix it. Sedaris is going to run our whole route here. Okay, all he's trying to do is trying to get his chin on his inside shoulder. Go. Okay, and we're trying to go 100%. We'll do it tonight. Go. Ryan's one of our wings, so he's running his out. Other side. We'll just flip it, make sure we're getting both sides. Go. Mess up my percentage, I'm going to knock you out. Go. I caught that. Go. Chin on the shoulder. Go. So now we're going to go into our pivot route. Basically, we're just going to go through a series of what our routes are. So give me We're just going through our routes here. Go. Logan flip sides. All right. Go. Good. You don't have to go. on our seams here. We want to work on getting width, so we're going to give them a start aiming point. I want to run down to 25. Go. And all we're doing is working on getting our width here. All right, these are things that we'll run in practice probably 100 times. So we're going to work on that every day. So that'll be our pre-practice. When we get to our Indy time, what we like to do is our read drill. Stacy can be So I'll start here, and I'm gonna simulate being the defender. Our scheme is based on a read. So if we're going dive to two times to read this guard. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simulate the defensive lineman. This is our lineman. Okay. So he's gonna run his 42. I'm gonna step to a hole. His job is to press the heels of this bag as much as possible. What we've done is I'm telling him to try to get his feet to this white line before he makes his cut. So I'll be here, run 42. You're going full go. Full go, he's gonna chuck. He's gonna make that read. Okay, so that's our 42. Get up there, Justice. What I want. You good now? You good? Alright, I'm looking for Justice to press his heels up to this white line before he makes his cut. Okay?
Set. Cut.
I want to see him low. I want to see him exploding through the hole. Okay? I'll get up there, Ryan. What we can do too, Ryan's going to go in what we call a jet motion. All right, it's the same read. Okay, so it's the same thing for me. Run 32.
Set. Cut.
Read. Good. I want to see him press the heels of that line. Okay. We'll also do that with our 44. Same thing. All I got to do is pull it out.
Set. Cut.
If I want to make him work, I'm just going to stay behind the bag as long as possible. Okay. Haven't had it happen where they'll run into me yet, but if it does, it'll be too bad for them.
Set. Cut.
Push. Oh, almost happened. Okay. So we want to make him press the heels of that bag or that lineman. Okay. So that's what we're going to work every day on an individual basis. Fortunately, they're doing pretty good at getting the handoffs. What we're looking for on our exchange, obviously if I'm quarterback, taking the ball, we want quarterback side arm up, elbow high, and he doesn't want to grab at it. We want to put it in the belly, and he wants to squeeze over the top. Okay? With our scheme, we do what's called a soft squeeze, so that quarterback can pull it. All right? But if you're not doing a read, you want a good hard squeeze, and we're going to tell him to keep that ball in two arms through the line until contact. That's all I got.
What exactly do you mean when you said pressing the heels?
Pressing the heels. So if I'm a lineman, and we're going 42, he's reading my butt.
Okay.
So we used to have a back who would actually, if this guy was getting put pressure, he'd literally get right up on the guy's back. And push
The
him.
offensive guy, okay.
So I want Sedaris to get on the heels of this lineman. So I was going to walk him. He wants to press my heels until he can make my read to make the cut off of that. Okay?
We don't want to think of cutback until he gets to where that offensive lineman's heels were before the ball was snapped.
So and by me standing behind this bag, the bag's the offensive lineman, I'm the defensive lineman. The longer I can stay here before I step to a hole, it's going to make him make that read more and get up on the heels more. If that makes sense. So that's all I got. Any questions?
Do you have any drills that you use to teach them how to run down a sideline?
Run down a sideline?
Well, you can make a gauntlet. You know, you can have 3 or 4 backs grab a shield.
Talking about like trying to stay in bounds.
Yeah.
Try to stay in bounds. Just grab like 3 or 4 guys, grab a, get it 1 yard apart. So no size, just sometimes we do we just done it the last few days, a gauntlet where we got guys on both sides with bags. We just tell them to blast them, or we'll alternate it. We'll have some guys with bags, and some guys will be trying to strip the ball out. But if you want to be specific sideline, then just have them run down the sideline and keep them in bounds. There you go. Back off a little bit. And obviously, this would be better if they had their pads on, so easy with the bag. One. Go. Okay. But other than that, I don't know of any other drills that I've ever done.
In the drill you were doing, you have your actual quarterback doing that, right? Not a coach, or how are you doing that?
Stacy plays quarterback J and Y. So for us, when he's with us, it's easy enough to throw him there, and he can get reps there for that too. I'll have Coach Jacobs do it. I'll have a kid do it. It just kind of depends. If I was gonna have a kid do it, like Akeem was not a quarterback, and I was gonna run 42, I just set him up and where he's gonna be to hand off. And it's not so much the exchange I'm working on here because I don't have the quarterback. It's that press of the heels and making the read.
So after Indy time, then, do you spend time then with the quarterbacks and the receivers? And
yeah, we go group. So we will either go 7-on-7, inside run, nothing multi.
Your 40 you've got is going to the 3, leaning towards the 1, and then doing the cutback.
Our 42, that's a good question. Line it up. Say some quarterbacks. With our 42, we're teaching them to be straight vertical on their path. Okay. He's not going till it touches the quarterback's hands. Right? That's his rule. When we're in aim, he's going to go till it touches the quarterback. So what we'll actually do on this is I'll actually start with the ball. If I'm not here, I'll have the next back do it, then the next back will run. And what we'll do is his path needs to be straight vertical. So we'll use our lines. We actually use these lines for practice. You can always use spray paint, just put some on the grass. His path should be right down this line. If Stacy doesn't move, Sedaris is going to run him over. In that case, we yell at Stacy for being slow. All right? So just give me a set hit. Going in.
Set, hut.
Stepping out of the way, straight vertical, pressing the 2 on our inside.
Now if it's a 41, just the opposite side for the
43,
handoff.
he's stepping the other way. And the reason we do that,
This direction.
well, the reason we do that is a read. Okay? So if we're going to do this with the quarterback, we'll put a guy here at end.
Watch out, back out here, guys.
Put a guy here at end, 42.
So read me.
Okay, so and coach is going to simulate that end. We're going to leave him unblocked. That end pinches down. Stacy's going to keep it. That end stays wide. He's going to get it.
Set, hut.
So we can do that. We'll actually have Justice right here. So we'll just get a rotation going from center to back. So we'll be here.
Set, hut.
Press the heels. Good.
All right, so if the end, so you guys on the 42s and that, are you guys pulling your tackles, or you guys?
No, we're all zone.
So just all zone all the way through.
Well, let's go. So we flip it. We'll go 43. We're just going the other way.
Set, hut.
That's a soft squeeze like we talked about, so Stacy can ride him, still pull that out without Sedaris pulling it out of his hands. That answer that one, Paul. We get a lot of reps out of these.
Yeah.
Rep. Anybody else?
The big thing is that they press the heels because they got to trust getting here that they're going to get a better cutback if they get to here. If they start their cutback here, D linemen are going to fall off their blocks and linebackers are going to have better angles to get them
he's got to make that read, because if he doesn't get there, we don't want to run into a D line.
Is there another way to practice making sure that the backs hit those holes? The way we're running, you know, they don't trust the line. So they get to here and that's the line. There's no hole. They get to here, there's no hole. Then they get to here, it's wide open. Is there another way that you guys practice that besides this one, or just kind of pushing them through to show them?
It's really forcing them through. I like using the sideline just because it gives them a landmark to get vertical and get into that hole and then make the read. Bottom line is they might have to make that read 2 yards back. That practice of making the read is what's most important.
I mean, if your linemen are getting flat out beat, you know, I guess you got to tell the back he's got to cut. I mean, there's an exception to every rule. I mean, if your offensive guard's rear end is jacked 2 yards in the backfield, and your back's running here, well, you got to let him be an athlete, make a move. But if we've got anywhere from a stalemate up front to movement up front, then they should be pressing the heels.
Bottom line is you don't want them running backwards.
I like the idea of drawing a line, making that decision right there.
It's great to have the landmarks, or if you don't have many lines on your fields, you know, use cones. You know, but it's great to use landmarks.
Can you take a minute? So on that 42, can you show us what your guard's supposed to do?
So, if I'm the guard, he's
it's zone scheme, covered, uncovered. All right, so if I'm a guard, I've got a 3-tech on me. I'm covered, so I want to reach him. Okay, so here's my center. I'm gonna basically take, we call it a reach step, gain a little ground. I'm gonna try to get my eyes to his play side number and get him covered up. So if I actually get him reached, right, he's pressing my line of scrimmage, he's pressing my heels. He's probably gonna fall right into that B-gap, the running back. But a lot of times, what's the 3-tech thought, right? Don't get reached, don't get reached. So I don't get him reached. His hat's outside. He's gonna press my butt, fall into the A-gap. But the longer he presses that line of scrimmage, the easier it is to block the linebacker. Because by the running back staying on that track, he's bringing that linebacker downhill to my uncovered partner there, if he's uncovered in that case. Does that answer your question or not?
And of course, you got the other if we're running it to an uncovered side. So now you'd be on my right shoulder. And I'll tell you what, yeah, I'm a center. Okay, so now I'm covered. So I'm taking my reach step, getting my hands on his outside, working him upfield, right? And you know, I mean, this is, again, we're zone blocking, and I don't know if you've got enough time to teach zone blocking, but I mean, this is how we do it, and that's how we run that play. So you might be saying, well, Coach, you're really blocking a guy right into the hole. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. What we're trying to do is get movement off the ball and let this guy get to here where the heels of the guard were, and then he can make his moves. And we've been doing a pretty good job of running inside. So, you know, there will be seams that they can take advantage of if they get to that landmark. And it would be like another clinic talk to go over all of how we teach the technique of zone blocking, and you know how it draws up against different fronts. But I mean, that's the essentials right there.
So in that case here, what would the guard's responsibility be if he's not covered?
Well, it just depends on where everybody else is lined up. So
Probably the easiest basic rule is if I'm covered, I'm going to work play side with the next covered guy. Okay, so I've probably got a backer over me, right?
Yep.
So he's reaching, I'm stepping, I'm going to eye his near knee. If he's in my gap, I'm going to attack him and take him over. If he disappears, I'm up to second level. So we're working two guys working to two guys. On your 42?
the quarterback steps back and his back's facing the 4 hole when you hand out
The 2, yeah, he is.
But when you do 44, you're facing the
Yeah,
4 hole.
because he is not reading anybody.
Okay.
So and why do we bother making the distinction? Let's show him that. That's a good question. So let's go get in the pistol here, and I'll be that defensive end. So just walk through 42 read, okay? Okay, I'm not chasing it, so he gives it, comes out here, okay? Better yet, let's do it again. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna close down now. Okay, now, so on that play, it hit so tight, I'm a defensive end, and if we would go through the entire blocking scheme with our zone scheme, like if I'm the defensive end on coach, he's the offensive left tackle, we're running 42 zone, which is to our right. Okay, coach steps, okay, what we're saying, we're not saying, we know it, a defensive end can come in here and collision this play and we don't have a play. So that's our answer to that. We have one other answer to it. We could add the tag seal, and we might have a back, if we're in a 2-back offense. You've done this a couple of times. We've only introduced this a couple of times. If we added the tag seal, let's say you're under center, you'd probably be under Stacy. Okay? All right, here we go. Now when we're under, we are going to front out to the play side. Okay, you actually haven't been here when we're under. You're going to front out, yes. Okay. So you're set. Go. Okay, he's sealing me. Okay. Okay, now step out and keep it. But again, now getting back to your question, why don't you read it when it's 44? And really, coach is going to release me. Go ahead and run. Just walk through 44. We're saying that I can't get that there. Okay, I can't get there. And if you know, we got a couple other answers. I mean, we got a naked boot we run off of this. We fake here and come out here. And if this guy's chasing that so hard that he's tackling it, but that's why. That makes sense.
Going back to the zone blocking on that tackle, is there any collision with the end, or he's just going after this area right here?
Backside?
Yeah.
No, he's turning him loose.
Okay.
He's turning me loose. No.
If you're going to have the quarterback read them,
Yeah.
you almost don't want to touch
Yes.
Okay.
because it slows down the read.
Yeah.
Got it.
No.
All right. Good idea.
It's a lot clearer picture. Anything else? Anything?
Coaches and players, thanks